So I'm going to introduce Nisha Millet now. She has represented India in 2000 and she's also running her sports academy. And in case, I'm sorry if I'm not reverent enough, but I'd let Nisha speak now because I'm just awestruck and starstruck in many ways. So Nisha, please take on from here.
Hi everyone, it's wonderful to be here and hear all the inspiring stories. My twin daughters decided to join today as well, and they're also aspiring sports people. So one of them, Ariana here, loves gymnastics, so she's been watching the Olympics, and Adele here wants to be a swimmer, and so 2032 in Brisbane, I might be a swimming parent. But yeah, I'd love to just share my story very briefly. We have had it easier in terms of support. I was lucky to be born into a family where my parents always wanted us to be very active, play sports, and they gave us every opportunity. Went as far as selling our family home to put that money to fund my sister and my swimming career. So we were lucky to have that financial support, support in terms of time, effort, and that really helped us get to where we did get to. And things were not easy growing up, of course. Access to swimming pools. There was a lot of, I'd say, issues in terms of being a female sports person. Many a time, I know once my sister was chosen for the Asian Games, and just 2 days before we left to the Asian Games, they withdrew her name, saying, "Let's give another family a chance." So not just being a female sportsperson, but a sports person in general in India, where there's a lot of politics. Competing in an individual sport really helped. If you touch first, my father would say, if you touch first, nobody can take that away from you, and that will ensure that you get to make teams, to go for events. We had an issue in terms of, I think a lot of Indian women are scared to get into pools for a couple of reasons. One is, sadly, getting tanned. To me, that is one of the most ridiculous things that, so we really try and educate women, young girls. When I would go out of the country, people would love to say, they say, "We love your tan skin." And it's something all us swimmers are so proud of. On my wedding day, I was wearing a wedding gown and I was proudly showing off my tan. So that's something young girls, I think something as trivial as that shouldn't be holding kids back from taking up swimming. And if somebody really has an issue with it, I tell them just buy a full bodysuit and get into the pool anyway. What people don't know is swimming in India is the second leading, drowning in India is the second leading cause of accidental deaths. So we're really trying to educate the masses that swimming is a life skill, something that everyone should learn. And when we were growing up, the pool that I started swimming at, we actually had a drowning while we were training for an event. So, water safety has to improve. We need to encourage more girls to take up the sport, and not only take up the sport, but to stay in the sport. We have quite a good sporting culture, especially in Karnataka, South India, where I come from. We actually have, right now, just today, we had 2 swimmers from India swimming at the Tokyo Olympics. Having said that, I made something called the B qualifying time in 2000. And since then, in 2004, another competitor of mine, Shika, qualified for the Olympics as well. And post 2004, we've had absolutely no improvements in female swimming in India. And cut to 2021, we had one representative who didn't make the cut, but still got to go on a universality quota. So right now in sports in India, we're trying to figure out, our boys, on the other hand, have made A qualifying time. So why the disparity when we are getting more resources? We're getting better facilities, better sports scientists working with us. Kids are taking part, young girls are taking to the sport, but somehow closer to the 10th grade when they have to choose between sports as a profession or becoming a doctor or an engineer, they're tending to drop out from the sport. And at that point, they're giving up their sporting career, and we're losing out so many really talented young girls. Having said that, in other sports, we're doing phenomenally well. I think we're seeing an upward trend of female sports people. And what we really need is the young athletes, I feel, to look up to our own female heroes. Why are we only spotlighting, say, a Michael Phelps for the boys or a Katie Ledecky in swimming? We have our own heroes. Even in other sports, we have Mary Kom, who has 3 sons and still competes at the Olympics. She's world #1. She's an Olympic medalist. She just won her bout today. So we have some amazing, strong women role models, whether it's Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, Sania Mirza. We had a gymnast, Deepa Karmakar, who narrowly missed out and came fourth at the last Olympics. And these girls are doing so without much funding, beating all the odds. Prize money is pretty much unheard of in Olympic sports. It's all amateur sports anyway. So very, very tough, I think, for sports people in general, but women in particular. And still a long way to go, but our women are really leading the way in terms of the medal count. So now I think India is sitting up and starting to take notice. Funding is coming in to the point where somebody like Sindhu is earning similar prize money and endorsement deals than a big cricketer like Virat Kohli. So I think sports in India and female sports people are entering a new age, and we really have to encourage our youngsters. So as parents, as sports people ourselves, get back into our sports. And really, a lot of ex-sports people are moving away from sports. So I would just, implore them, including all the wonderful women out here, to get back into your sport in any way and contribute, whether it's as a coach, as a mentor, somebody you can become a sports doctor, a sports psychologist. And that's how we inspire the next generation to not only take up the sport, but after they retire from competitive sport, to stay in the sport and continue giving back. And that's what will raise the next generation of Olympic champions.
That's perfect, Nisha. I think your story and the way you're talking about, the strides that we've made is something very important. And I think, let's just say for countries like Pakistan, where I'm from, we can learn so much in terms of which ways to take, because obviously swimming is one of the tricky sports that we have. And there are so many cultural issues that comes with it. So I'm sure we'd be able to tie that together towards the end. I hope you stay. And I'm loving your daughters. I'm just like, much adoration and hi to them.
I think they're both very good swimmers too, I think.
They've been in the water from the time they're 3 months, so they're water babies themselves.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Nisha.